Hello, Armchair Generals. My name is Tom, and I'm back as Japan in another campaign in Hearts of Iron 3 using the Black Ice 10.43 modification. Just started the game, ran it a couple hours in game time, and saved it successfully without a crash, so we knew we got a good gameplay ahead of us here. Where we left off last, we were surrounding the capital there of Xinjiang, and at this point, I think I'm just going to kind of sit here where I'm at, though I may make some exploratory attacks and just kind of gain some experience for my leaders here. Some of my guys, as you can see, they already got some pretty decent leadership already, or experience rather already, but more would not hurt. Excuse me. So I think we're gonna do a few exploratory attacks just to kind of kill enemy units and have a little bit of fun for the next year or so. Um, Germany is actually doing pretty well. They took Poland on their normal timetable. Uh, Denmark fell within less than a week, I believe. Lowlands and France fell, fairly quickly, I guess. Norway took a while. And all of a sudden, it looked like they had captured Norway out of the middle of nowhere. But then I realized the majority of Norway's victory points are down south here. There's only one victory point, Narvik, up here. So all they need to do is just take southern Norway, and the whole entire country is theirs. Italy making some strides into Egypt here. No, it looks like it's going to fall on the same, advance in a little bit, run away, back to Benghazi or something like that, then fight its way back again into Egypt kind of type deal. Abyssinia looking about normal. They just need to clear up the British up here in the northeast and also in the northwest. Looks like otherwise they should be doing okay there for now. Um, we also have a bunch of IC, as you can see, almost 300. We have several spawn penalty hits to our IC that's dragging us down from the over 300 that we were at for a while there. But the good news is we've got the majority of our IC, a good two-thirds, going straight towards our production. Our production, for the most part, is about 99% upgrades. You can see all these. Well, the majority is going to be upgrades. It was. I take that back. I need to take a look at my own production queue here to see what I'm up to. So we had went through all of our naval units and selected to upgrade them, and it looks like we've done the vast majority of them at this point now. It's just mostly the capital ships and light cruisers that need upgrading here. Not too much at that point. It looks like everything that's getting upgraded should be ready by the start of war. Shikaku and Zukaku fairly close there. They'll be finished within a month before war starts, and this is good. This will mean that my navy will all be the same level that my tech is roughly. I may actually have another round of tech gains before war with America starts. That might put all my ships kind of out of current status then at that point. But nonetheless, they should be well enough at that point that they're gonna be able to stand against America's navy without a problem. We have a few more. See the Junyo and Hayu and a couple of light carriers here. They're being built. Actually, the light carriers will be done just after war with America is declared. Um, my next main carrier fleet will be in spring. And then we've got our salt ships coming, some more Marines coming as well. These are going to be paired with the veteran and elite headquarter regiments that I have. So that way these guys will be kind of a rock steady type of grouping there. And once we get through with a lot more of this production, then we're going to throw some more um, carrier fleets on there. I really need more and more and more. I'll have a dozen uh, carriers by the time war with America happens, and we'll have another five, as you saw, getting built over the course of the next few months from that point. Um, well, I really need a lot more beyond that, though. Technology wise, thanks to some help from searchers who pointed out that if you research anything that is not current, that is above current year, in other words, current year plus one or more, you take a hit. There's a penalty. The the plus 1 year, not as big a penalty as the plus 2 or more year, but it's still big enough where if you're researching, say now it's 1940, if I'm researching a 1941 tech, it's going to take so long I can research a couple of 1940 techs, same difficulty, let's say, to even things out. I can research a couple of 1940 techs in place of that 1941 tech, and actually wait on that 1941 tech until it's actually 1941 and learn it very quickly. Um, Again, your mileage may vary in how your research efficiency is set up, also what the difficulty level is. Atomic research is a little more difficult than learning how to build military rations. So, if I was learning military rations uh, now, that might actually get this quicker than the atomic research. Perhaps I'm not going to test it out, but it's something to consider as well as what the difficulty level is of that research that you're going for. Also, too, if you wait till like say the end of the year, like we're getting kind of close, I'd wait till November, December. You can go ahead and jump on that 1940, the tech that's 1 year ahead, because you're not going to the amount that you're going to be losing is not that much, and you'll be gaining say a few days or weeks of research time on that research instead of waiting till the beginning of the year to go ahead and research it. But those I think would be edge cases. To say if you're if you have more leadership than you do research projects current year or older research projects to go through, um, then at that point, sure, I could see spending the excess leadership on research that's a year in advance. But with this change to my research theory overall, where now I'm just researching current year and older, I'm finding that quite honestly, um, all my research tech seems to be going along quicker than before. So I'm kind of bemoaning how much more research I could have had by now. And speaking of such, let's go ahead and see what kind of research we're getting. This episode, we're going to burn our way through the rest of 1940 and into 1941. Um, we'll be seeding some more of our production queue with carriers that we're going to be building, I believe, and then and also keep on top with our research overall. And also, like I said, we're going to be doing some spoiling attacks on the Xinjiang forces around the capital, just to kind of kill them and force the issue where their units are only here on the capital. Um, Beyond that, not too much else. It's going to be a future episode where I'm going to address all the units that I have here on the mainland that kind of need to get reorganized and set up properly too. As well, that'll probably be about spring or summer perhaps, where I'll go through all my leaders. Like you see this leader here, if you're looking at Major General Hasanya, his skill level is 2, but he's maxed out at that skill. I believe that while the skill level is maxed out, he can still gain experience and still gain traits. I think that's still, I mean, the experience he gains is for the towards the traits, I believe. But his skill is still maxed out what it is. He's a leader that I would pull off and replace with somebody else that may have a higher skill level, but also could still uh, gain levels. This is a type of leader based on what he has here. He's the type of leader that I would put in charge of, say, a core headquarter or higher, just so that way that the huge number of traits he has here would be able to filter down to his troops under his command. Um, there's other leaders. Yeah, Formax. I might take a look and kind of see. He's a mountaineer leader, so I may pull him off and get him ready for the mountain troops I'm going to be building shortly. Which that's another thing too. If those who saw my building queue, I got my naval units and Marines, I should say, and landing craft being built. I still need to build some more planes. I've got some. I do have planes being built at this time. We've got, let's see, several naval bombers being built and a couple. I thought I had a couple of flying boats being built as well. Is this the flying boat? I think that's the flying boat. Um, going to be doing 3 wings total. naval bombers along with flying boats, but I also need a few more. I still have this ace here, who actually he's got a he's not really been upgraded per se. He's still rank 1, but I think that's because he's a flying ace. But I see his range now is doubled. His range, look if you look in the lower right-hand corner here, and also on here it says supplies from Tokyo, 445 kilometers. His range has doubled since I last took a look at him, so that makes me feel better. I think he was like 200 and something kilometer range, which wasn't that big of a deal. I was going to stick him on an island and just have him fly cap around the island. But now 445 kilometers. I mean that gets you a few more sea zones out from. It's not just strictly the sea zone surrounding the island. That's a couple of sea zones around the island that he would be able to fly cap on. Anyway, I need to get a few interceptors, throw it on him there. Actually, I need to build a couple interceptor wings, period, and some more bomber wings. Need to staff out the couple of bombers I have here. Two medium bombers isn't going to quite cut it. I need to kind of beef that up a little bit. Same with the three light bombers. That's not going to really cut it either. I can't build. Oh, I can actually build twin engine fighters. I made to think about building a few of these just so that way I can attach them onto the medium and light bomber wings. The range of our the twin engine fighters is equivalent to what the medium and light bomber ranges are. Their speed is great. Their their anti well that's air viewing. Is it soft attack? Air attack. There we go. Their air attack would help our bombers out greatly. You can see it's a 36 air attack, while the bombers are only a 4. I usually like to throw a twin engine fighter um, onto each light and medium bomber wing so they can tag along with them, knock down any enemy interceptors or fighter bombers that may be trying to do just that, intercept my bomber wing. So I need a few of those built. Anyway, the upshot is I need to build some more air units. Need to uh, also build some tropical island garrisons once that gets learned, which I thought was later this year, but doesn't appear to be so just yet. I'm not seeing them in my production ability to build there. And of course, some more carrier fleets, and more destroyers and things of that kind of nature. Just basically need to build more in our production queue. But anyway, we'll just progress here with what's going on. Looks like they're attacking me. That's what those combat results are. So okay, we will be happy to accept that. Sticking with our current year theory, it's 1940, so all tech that comes in completed. I'll do the follow-up so long as it's 1940 or older. If it says 1941, I'll just go ahead and drop it. Attacking, I'm just gonna have one guy attack. And actually, we can do an overall combat here in this area with two of these specialized infantry I have. Oh, actually, we can't move into there. So actually, once we attack there, so we won't have him attack there. We'll have him attack up here, and then there, and then there. We'll have him attack into here because we can't move into those. Once he attacks there, that guy's gonna be killed. Um, Interesting. I don't remember moving into that province, but okay. We'll have him support the attack. Actually, since that's an area they can't be moved into, he'll move in as well, and just simply kill the guy that's there. I really don't need the cavalry unit here, in all honesty, so he can come in here as well. And then up. Same, once he's done attacking, then he'll go up there. Basically, we're just going to be doing some spoiling attacks, outright just killing units too. What do I have? What gold do I have here? Puppet. Okay, that's right. Just because I'm not sure. I don't think if I were to conquer it, I think therefore I'd kind of have to staff it with defenses. I don't want to do that. We just puppet them just like we did Tibet and leave them to be. They can help provide a little bit of a buffer there against Russia if need be. Looks like we won those battles, this battle quite handily. Yeah. And that one as well. We'd won Special Forces branch upgrade. Okay, that dropped off. And we've got another destroyer being built. I thought I had a destroyer group down here, 2, 4, 6. So that's the seventh one. I'm noticing I'm building so many more destroyers now that the more recent destroyers I built, the last four now, this is the fourth one, start with JD. If anybody knows what the JD means, I'll probably have to like Google it and see. But I know that the um, if not the Black Ice mods, then it's the game itself is providing the names, random names for each of the nations. So with the destroyers, each of the destroyers got his own name and stuff like that. But I guess at a certain point, I'm now building more destroyers than were built, maybe, or that's why I was using the JD, Juliet Delta. Could also just simply be that the those were its names, the the more recent destroyers that got built. Party rally, we're going to go ahead and do because I'd like to boost that unity up a bit more. Every little bit that we can get, you can see it goes up by 0.05. I mean, not much for $100, but I mean, I've got $100, and that's in 4 days. I'll get another $100, so might as well go ahead and do that. To recap as well, the airport and road airport building that gives you air organization, which I really don't need until war with America. A road network, I think, provides like supply throughput and something else. I don't feel it's something that I need right now, especially for that 2.5% IC hit. But you know what? Actually, screw it. Let's go and do it. If it is supply throughput, let me just go ahead and get that going because that may help out matters. Say getting supplies to my war front there, as little as it is. Put pressure on Siam. Need to be at war with UK or have the Pearl Harbor decision. So December 7th is when that will occur for putting pressure on Siam, and that it'll be a random chance of Siam. Depending on what I choose, it'll be a random chance of having to go to war with Siam, I believe. But we have the option to either say we're going to puppet Siam or take it over. Typically, I take it over so that way I can utilize my supply going through it, not not my puppets there. Everything else, the Operation Z coming, Tortur that's coming in December 7th. Yeah. Alrighty. There's a road network. Okay, the national unity. That I was thinking there was something it improved here. I guess the organization regain rates. I was wrong. Not supply. National unity, which in this case it just maintains, and organization regain rate improves. Small warship, ASW. Oh, that's the air search radar actually. Yeah. That's 1940 tech, so we'll let that ride. Aviation air search. That's 1941, so we'll drop that off. It's another group of battles there, and basically we're just killing their or not killing, we're just forcing their guys back where they. In this case, they're going back to Birken. They will just be simply dying there. There's nowhere they can go. Um, Once they do, I'll then have him kind of yeah, we got the units that can move around. Um, this guy can actually handle that. He's actually almost there, so that's fine. I will have just go straight up that way. He doesn't need to be doing what he's doing. Actually, let's do that and then have him. Let's do the domino effect, Tom. The domino effect is actually quicker. That's where we move a unit from one province to the next and the next and the next, and et cetera. That'll get a unit where I initially wanted this guy. I wanted this guy to move all the way up upwards to there. Actually, yeah, I selected the wrong unit, did I not? Oh, I see. Yeah, we're doing the right thing I need to be doing here because once this, I can't get attacked anywhere along here, so there's no need to keep a military focus on these provinces here. Plus, I've got leaders. I'll move him up anyway. I've got leaders that if anything happens, they can kind of step in and quash it. But yeah, the domino effect is where you can move one unit to the next province, then the next, another unit to the next, and et cetera. You can kind of keep moving this around. So instead of moving this guy all the way up here and taking forever to do so, I can have this guy then move in there, and all my provinces still have units in them. We've got some more destroyers. These will be another, whoops, too far. These will be another group of destroyers. I see they're also all named JD something or other. Again, very interesting. I gotta look that up and just kind of see. You can look at Wikipedia and it'll tell you like what the names of all the ships were of a particular nation if you want to do a naming convention yourself. But the randomized names are actually works out pretty well. Do I still have? Not anymore. Okay, that was the last rebel that was in China there. Gun position, that's 38 tech, so we'll leave that alone. Oh, that was here. There we go. And we'll just simply have them move in and attack. He is going to board the transport, and he's going to go ahead and get transported to the island there. When the patch 10.4 came out, this island was off by a couple of millimeters or something like that, and you couldn't actually land troops on there. You couldn't use or even fly planes or sail ships here. You couldn't use the port or airport there. But that got fixed in a follow up. The mod developers are really great at that. If there's a reported bug, um, especially one that can be resolved very quickly, they're on it. That's why we're up to version 10.43, and I think 10.4 that was released this year, if I recall, January perhaps, or maybe February. I'm not sure. I don't remember if it was like a post-Christmas gift to the players. But yeah, definitely the Black Ice mod makers they do a great job here. Gun ability, twin engine, that's also passed. I think that was the destruction. No, they're going back to. Oh no, we defeated them, Birkin. These are uh, the it's the headquarters unit that's going to be escaping into there. But this was, I guess, another unit that is simply outright destroyed. 10-1 odds. Lost 3 men. I feel sorry for those 3 men. Looks like Zibi San Ma is taking a couple extra provinces here. For now, since we're going to puppet Xinjiang, it's all that'll get reverted back. I guess if I were to conquer it, then Sivi Senma would keep those provinces. Not that it really matters. I mean, it's interesting. The weather impact is level 2. The it has one infrastructure. That's all. So there's really nothing of any value in Xinjiang except for this province here, and that's because of the IC and energy and well, that's it that it has. It does have a couple of infrastructure buildings as well, but not worth our holding on to. Anti-air ammunition, that's 39 tech, so we'll leave that. That was the headquarters unit that got wiped out. Snowfall, sure. One upgrade, yes, always one upgrade. 22, so we gained back a capital shipyard. For whatever reason, in the last episode, I had lost a capital shipyard, went down from 22 to 21. Now I'm back up. Don't understand, but that's okay. We now have a new party taking into account here. We'll make changes to that because, yeah, we don't need the leader types that are here all around. For some, yes, but yeah. Speaking of here, this guy needs to move back and, whoops, you just rebase, please. We lost our very high popularity, so the people don't like the yeah, we want to deploy the anti-airguns. Don't really like the government that is set up here. All right, now we'll take our Marines. They really didn't gain much in the way of experience, I don't believe, but nonetheless, that was just to get that. There was a rebel unit that appeared on Wolai Woolali. I think it appeared on Woolali, and then they moved over to Woolai and took it. So I was moving this unit here anyway to hold it for future use, future garrison duties when that happened. So that's why my Marines came in and took charge. So yeah, we've gotten all the units there taken care of that we need to. Machine gun focus, that's 44 tech. We'll go and remove that. We lost some leadership. That's where I need to change. We'll switch over to diplomacy after this. Let me drop this down to 72 now. Lost a little bit of leadership. That may be due to minister changes. We need to readdress that. Alrighty, we don't need a ruthless power monger. We'll get our stern imperialist back in charge there. This is the party in charge now. They're fascist, but they're actually the ones that that well, I would say that people like better. They like the control click better, but no, my people are liking the fascist party a little bit more now. Well, intriguing. I was going to be switching him anyway in another couple months here, but you know what? I think I may just leave. Yeah, leave him there. There really isn't. Yeah, there isn't any need to switch to anybody else or have anybody else. The plus 10% naval organization, yeah, chef's kiss. Um, that'll make all my ships that much better. Ideological Crusader. I think that's probably the better. Well, no, that's not necessarily the better. I think the Great Compromiser might be the better of them all. But I don't think there's. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody really better than Ideological Crusader at this point. So we'll just leave him alone as is. The Military Entrepreneur. I think I had an air superiority proponent in there before. Now, if I have somebody that does naval, battle fleet proponent. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Naval organization, another 10%. Oh, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Naval base efficiency, that'll help with supply to all my naval bases and cruiser practical tape. So there really isn't anybody better than that. When I say better, I mean for my purposes as Japan. If you're playing another country, or maybe a different way that you're playing, or if you had a different campaign going as Japan, where if like you're attacking Russia solely, then yeah, you may want to stick with somebody like the military entrepreneur. But for what our purposes, we're going to be going a more historical route with Japan, and we're going to be seeing the Southeast Asian focus overall. So Navy, and this game, Japan lives or dies based on its Navy, and its Navy lives or dies based on its CAG. So we definitely need to make sure that both of those are kept up to snuff there. Here, yeah, Battlefield proponent. We're gonna take that 10% bonus too. Prince of Terror, no, no, anybody but him. Crime fighter, I feel. Um, Man of the People, I kind of like too, but I don't like that 10% hit to organization. So, oh, Baba Ichi Ilichi, it's Baba Yaga. Uh, yeah, I think crime fighter, and you know what? I'll choose him because he'll be of the same party that we are at this point. Um, though a silent lawyer too, leadership modifier plus 5%. Well, maybe that's what I had before, and that's why we kind of lost some leadership. I'm um, espionage bonus as well, national unity. The crime fighter would be nice because of the money, but honestly, we're doing okay with money right now. We can always get more money. Um, espionage bonus is similar, counter espionage. So we're going to do silent lawyer because I do like that leadership modifier. Our research specialist, where here he is my aircraft carrier guy. I need aircraft carrier tech. Speaking about not researching 1 year or more in advanced tech, your research minister, that minister of science that you choose, is one way that you can get tech that's ahead of the current year without a penalty. Excuse me. I have a very dry throat this morning, and I apologize. In this case, to a point of fact of the aircraft carrier guy here, the carrier specialist, he provides me about every 6 months or so, um, maybe 4 months, something like that, uh, a couple times a year. He provides me, based upon how much money I throw. I have an option. Once I have them selected, I'll have an option to choose. Do you want to, not invest any money, put moderate amount of sums in, or max out the amount of money we can put in? That determines how many points, based upon how much money we're throwing into him, that we're able to get to select aircraft carrier techs. It's about a dozen or so techs. Several of the techs that I think it's selecting are those that are ahead. But anyway, that's one way to get tech that's ahead of your current year without seeing a penalty. Um, so that could be very handy for other countries where if you're like, I'm not sure what minister to choose. Well, it could be handy to select a minister that may provide you some bonuses in areas that you're already kind of strong in, but you could get even more. You could even getting stronger based upon the improved tech that he's able to provide you there. In this case, yeah, we're selecting him back again because we want him. Head of intelligence, that might be why two, negative 2.5 leadership modifier. That's why I took a hit to my tech. Uh, I don't quite like that. Industrial specialist, I do like. I don't care about losing the money. Though I had said I'm going to be switching over to my naval intelligence specialist because naval intel tells you out on the ocean. You can at least see or chance to see naval fleets, enemy naval fleets sailing about. Plus that naval base efficiency of plus 10%, supplies. You get to draw more supplies into your naval base. Um, not what I want to do right now, but once war hits, maybe a little bit sooner than that, just so I can kind of keep an eye on where the American fleet is, hopefully. So in that case, we're going to be using our industrial specialist again because that I want that IC bonus, and the IC efficiency is really nice too. So the School of Defense and Decisive Battle Doctrine. Wasn't it? Yeah, School Fire Support. That's what I wanted because it's both attack and defend reinforced chance of 10%. Whereas with the School of Defense, while you're attacking, um, you have less of a chance. That 10% penalty, if you have no chance to reinforce, I guess it still stays at zero. But if you have any chance of reinforcing, this guy makes it worse in attack. I'd rather have a chance where I'm attacking, got units sitting in a reserve that are waiting to come in. Give them a chance to kind of reorg if needed, defend especially, and that soft attack could be used as well. Though I don't know that land organization 5%. Mm, yeah, I think I will actually keep him in there. Not that choosing that type of minister is needed now, because the only attacking I'm doing is here, and honestly, I could come in with half strength units and still win in Xinjiang. Not boasting, it's just, I mean, the amount of tech that Japan has, land army tech, is just far outweighs what Xinjiang has. So I think we'll leave that alone. I like that +5 land organization. Power projection, yes, because of the carrier protection efficiency, naval strike efficiency, it's CAG, aircraft carrier practical decay. Yeah, we need all that. Naval aviation doctrine, port naval strike efficiencies, that's CAG bonuses. Um, Medium bomber practical decay, that's nice to have as well. There really isn't anything better. I mean, carpet bombing doctrine, that's more US, UK, Russia, maybe. Germany, lake aim, perhaps. That's never going to be Japan. I'm never going to get to a point with Japan where I can look at strategic bombing um, a nation. It won't have it really won't even have the air bases for that matter. So yeah, that's the naval aviation doctrine is the best there. Okay, so we've got those selected. Let me go through my laws real quick here. I don't think there's any real changes. Oh. So, because the ruling party has changed now, I can choose. I can switch over the totalitarian system. Which, granted, I take a 4% IC hit. Currently, we have a 2% IC bonus. Totalitarian system is a 2% negative, so that's a 4% hit total there. But consumer goods during wartime drops that much more. Granted, it's at zero now anyway, but sorry about that. Looks like I have a delivery. Hold on, please. My apologies for the interruption, everybody. For you, it was just a brief 1 second pause there. If anything, for me, it was about a minute. I had a Amazon delivery that I need to grab off my front door there. That's why my dogs were barking because they heard my ring going off. We're talking about the civil laws here. The difference between, do I want to switch over from the limited restrictions to the totalitarian system? Looking at it, I see far more negatives than positives. The only positive that I'm really seeing here is the the need for consumer goods lessens, which already is at zero. So that's not a big deal. I don't think increasing the bonus there would improve our descent here. It may actually, because the amount of consumer goods you have going towards your people lowers dissent. So if the amount of consumer goods you need goes into negative numbers, that should mean your dissent goes down some more too. But even at that point, the only other positive would be the counterintelligence takes about a 35% positive swing there. Then the national unity change goes away. We gain ruling party support, which is, whoops, not a big deal. We lose IC efficiency. That's a 5% loss there and a 4% IC loss. So if we start doing poorly, where for whatever reason our consumer good need starts going up in wartime, yeah, I can see switching over to the totalitarian system. That's a tongue twister. So that way I would need less IC towards consumer goods, which could outweigh that IC loss. That would mean that I could then put the IC instead of into consumer goods towards production, perhaps. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that civil law there. Keeping the 3-year draft going, we could do service by requirement and get even more manpower. Um, but I don't want to take that IC hit really. The daily descent change should be not quite so disastrous. I'd probably still be losing descent anyway. Um, repair speed would go up and also recruitment would go up, but this could be a future thing if, say, 1943, things aren't quite so good. I could see switching to service by requirement. We're in the war economy. The total economic mobilization is what I'm really waiting for, though. Because that's another 2 months here. The amount of IC we get doubles. We lose a bit more money, no big deal. We lose a little bit of leadership. That'll be hurtful. That's a couple of research projects we'll probably be losing. Consumer goods stays the same during wartime. You can see daily descent takes a little bit of a hit, but at plus 1%, worst penalty is that's not going to do anything here. We're already at plus 1%. Plus 2% would mean probably a decent descent will drop by 0.02 a day or something like that. Officer recruitment is up. So yeah, January we're switching to total economic mobilization, leaving the massive education investment alone there. Honestly, I can't see doing anything else unless you're just needing IC and um, say you're America. I could probably see as the U.S. because the U.S. has tons of leadership. Germany's got a lot of leadership as well too, but honestly, they need all the leadership to be able to research all the stuff that they need to research. But I can see switching to minimal education investment and just you got a bunch of factory workers. America kind of needs that, especially in the very beginning of the game where they don't have that much in the way of IC to speak of. We're already a heavy industry emphasis. We don't need to slip into anything else because we need that IC more than any of the other stuff there. Press laws. We can move to propaganda press now because our ruling party has changed. Our IC would improve. manpower would improve, revolt risk would go down. So for what we're seeing happening in China, that would be nice. Though there are the rebel events that occur anyway. So I mean, you could have revolt risk of 0, I guess, and those events would still fire. Perhaps they may trigger, those events may trigger off of what your revolt risk is. So this this would be helpful. So all in all, those look very helpful to me. Tendency to drift, not concerned. Already in the axis right now. Counterespionage goes up. Organization regain rate doubles. National unity improves. Research efficiency, though, takes a bit of a hit. All in all, though, I do like the propaganda press over state press. We'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, that, I mean, just a little bit of extra IC will be very, very handy alone. Yeah, everything else is icing on the cake, as it were. We're sticking with the specialist training for everything there, and massive conscription. We're not going to move to emergency conscription until say 43, maybe 44, like after war that whole entire time. If it goes disastrously too, my future battles go disastrously in Burma and India and against America. America maybe not so much. So we'll lose more manpower in the land wars in Burma and India than we will against fighting America on the seas. There's not a lot of manpower that's sent on ships, which is kind of weird. I mean, not weird if you think about it, but you sink a battleship, and that's a couple thousand people lost right there. Um, but I guess too, you have one bad battle in Burma, for example, and I could lose 10,000 people. You know, so yeah, I guess yeah, land you lose more manpower anyway. But yeah, we're not going to switch to mercy conscription until things go really really bad. So we got some changes here, as you can see. We're going to save the game because we made some pretty substantial changes. That ruling party coming in allowed me to make a couple law upgrades, law changes. And then because the new party came in as well, I had to change the ministers back to kind of what I want them to be, or switch them on out. This guy, he doesn't need to sit there now, so he can start coming through here like so. And actually, this guy can. Yeah, we'll have him come here and then do like that. This cav unit um, can do like so. Is that the only unit? Everybody else is kind of just moving, or has already moved, as you can see now. This cav unit. Okay. So we've taken the north and eastern section of Xinjiang at this point. I doubt we got that much experience with the little bit of attacking that we did with our troops here, but I mean, any little bit is good at this point. All we're doing is just sitting here. I had a viewer point out in a previous episode that while you may not gain that much, it's worth it to at least do some simple attacks and gain a few points of experience at least while they're sitting around doing nothing. And I certainly can agree with that. Plus, eliminating those units around here, that makes me feel kind of good. I like killing. Mountain infantry activation. That's one thing. Oh, now we're back up to 75. So let's drop that down like so. That'll get our leadership back up, or say our puts our leadership back into officers to the point where we're gaining a few. So 20 a day, and we are 7,000 off. That's that'd be saying by this time next year, I should be at 100% ratio if I keep doing what I'm doing. So I can accept that because I want to be at 100% ratio before I start war with America. I really would love to be at 110% ratio because I'll have some losses, though I won't have that much in the way of um, leadership or officer loss. I mean, we'll be doing some battles in the Philippines and on the islands against America. There'll be some naval battles as well, but all those I won't be seeing too much in the way of officer loss. It'll be when I start when the Allies attack me, the UK, Free French, Australia, New Zealand, etc., declare war on me, and I start attacking them. That's when I'll start seeing the churn. I'll be losing because of battles going through here towards Singapore, Hong Kong, through Burma, um, islands, around here. That's when I'll be seeing an officer loss for sure. But yeah, I'm okay with the ratio I'm at right now. Not to mention the fact that we're churning, as you can see, we're just churning through research left and right. Again, thank you to searchers for pointing out, correcting my incorrect supposition about how research penalties worked. Yes, we're doing the partisan suppression because I should have been doing this earlier. I'm so far behind in its tech here. We're 4 years behind. We got several more to still go. Now you see it goes up to rank 12. So I've got a couple more levels that I still need to catch up on here to get up to 1940. But you see its suppression is very impressive. Right now, right at this point, we got some fascist militia, I believe. Um, yes, I got 5 fascist militia in China. We got a bunch of recon cavalry as well that are providing suppression. We got, I believe it's for military police. That's police units. So that's the other guys I got as well. Communist militia. I don't think the communist. um, yeah, that's just Chinese collaborators, and that's just Chinese collaborators. They don't count as the fascist militia. These guys do though. They're fascist militia, so they're providing a little bit extra suppression, which you can see is up to 8.5 now. And in fact, if we were to look at divisions and where's our suppression? There. If you look at top suppression right now, military police tops it, of course, at 10, and I've got 15 military police all on different provinces around China. So that's good. Fascist militia, that's 9. So that's another 5 more. I've got there. Cavalry also has. I've got 5 cavalry running around. Garrisons also have a pretty decent suppression. Recon cav. That I don't know if this is showing that +1 now or if it still has to go up by 1. A recon cavalry. So the units I have currently now in China are ones that I should be using at this point in time for anti-partisan type duties, making sure that oh good, all our landing craft are now being worked on. Yay! Is make sure that the rebels aren't able to gain a foothold in China. That when they appear, it's in areas where there's absolutely no suppression. This is looking pretty good here. I'll have a naval bomber finishing in December, but I've got several rounds of that to go yet. February is when all of my light cruisers are going to finish their upgrades. Well, not all, but the vast majority. And then April will be the next round of upgrades finishing up as well. I'm just looking to see when I'll be having some IC freed up that is going to trickle down further here, so I know when I should start my next round of builds and things like that. Defensive positions. I greatly appreciate by tagging along with me in this experiment here with my Japanese campaign, and appreciate me talking as much as I am at this point. A lot of it's for my own stream of consciousness, my own thought process, kind of figure out what I need to be doing and where I'm kind of going right and stuff like that. Future, I will be watching the video series myself to kind of sit down and take some notes, figure out areas where I went wrong, make notes of changes to battle plans and things like that. Yay, finally getting back to building that guy. It's one of my last couple of specialized light infantry that I went to build there. So we're down to Army headquarters, dropping that off, and you see we're not even quite the end of the year, and I think at this point we've researched everything we possibly can and that I want that is 1940 tech or older. So we're going to go back and just look at everything, make sure that I am researching everything that's 1940 tech or older, and we'll kind of go from there. We just researched Mountaineer, so Mountain Headquarters. I want a couple of Mountain Headquarter units. So we're going to go through all of the levels for Mountain and Marine Headquarters because they give bonuses to the units. but I do want a couple of mountain headquarter units and a corps headquarter units and a army headquarter unit because I'm going to have about 10 Mountaineers I'm going to end up building, maybe 15 that I'm going to be using for Nepal, for Burma, and uh, yeah, and Nepal, um, and northern India, just because it's mountainous territory all around there. So we can't do anything there. Operating. Um, we're not doing that. Yeah, we don't need armor, direct fire. We're not worrying about that either at this point. I mean, I've got some AA and anti-tank as well, regiments embedded in my division. So obviously, it would help to improve their morale and organization. But these aren't. I don't consider them necessary at this point in time. I have other things I need to really start focusing or need to make sure I'm focusing on. Mountain unit training. We just got mountaineers. We need to make sure that their training gets caught up to where it needs to be. Um, like the combined arms, I've got a few combined arm regiments, but it, not not enough that this would be worth the time spent in researching it right now. Eventually, though, eventually. Uh, Make sure our air is all cut up to where it needs to be. It looks like it is. Naval, everything here should be 1940 tech. Every single aspect of my naval doctrines is can be used by Japan. Every single aspect. With Germany, you can usually just focus in one area and kind of keep on there. If your goal is to build carriers with Germany eventually, you just want to shoot down the fleet auxiliary carrier doctrine as Germany. You don't really need the others except for the sub type stuff, and that's because of course Germany's going to be you will probably be using submarines. I would like to kind of branch out to the other doctrines as well, but Grand Battle Plan is what we use as Japan. And since these type of texts are already been researched and are still have a lot of value, I need to make sure they maintain researching them. I would love to like superior strength. I would love to get, but I don't think I really need superior strength. Yeah. Superior strength allows you to go ahead and boost your army strengths, your unit strengths quite a bit here, but we already got those through an event. Um, Everything else here, I mean, there's some definite advantages of having these types of techs, but when I have the leadership to do so, I will go ahead and start diving in other doctrines as well. But for right now, yeah, it's not. I have other priorities that need to take center stage. Looks like our carrier tech is looking good overall. So we do have these. I'm going to load up my research queue with everything that I need and could use. Even if I go deep into the red here, because we're still going to be going through. If we look up here, we still got. You see, we've got dozens of texts that's going to be coming throughout this month and next. Wow, yeah, I've got a lot of tech that's going to be burning through quite a bit, even in the beginning part of January. I would have to say here, it looks like come by this time in January, three-quarters of my tech will be that I have here is going to be researched. I'll have about 50. Yeah, I got probably about 50 research targets, 60 maybe that will be finished by this time in January. So over the next 2 months here. Impressive. Again, searchers, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Pointing out my mistakes in regards to my earlier research that I was undergoing, which makes me think on past campaigns that I've done. You know, now I'm kind of like wrestling with the idea maybe I didn't do as well there because um, because I was spending so much time researching future tech. There were certain things. I'm going to boost that up quite a bit because that should be done fairly quick too. Yeah, December 20th. Um, I used to, like, for example, as Germany and Japan for that matter, I would sit here in the submarine tech and research everything. It was like, a year. So I'd be researching all this 1941 tech at this point. Uh, just thinking now, if I could research 3 or 4 things in place of that 1941, how much better could it have gone for me when I was playing that country? Large caliber machine gun, sure. That improves our air attack. This for naval light medium bombers, flying boats as well. Yeah. Um, everything that's 1940. Here's a bunch of 40 tech. 1940 or older. We're not going to be worrying about 4 engine planes. Um, I'm not going to worry about upgrading my transport planes. We have one paratroop. I'm not going to be building paratroops. That's just too much research and IC that's going to be put towards something that I'll just sparingly use in random places. Honestly, anywhere that I'll be using a paratroop on as Japan, I would rather be using a Marine on. Because largely fighting as Japan, I'm going to be fighting on the islands. So there really is not any need for a paratroop. Um, maybe deep in Indian or Burmese territory, perhaps. But even then, I could have a Marine landing behind the enemy lines, move up with some of my forces, and strike into the enemy heart there. Or that's what you're doing with the paratroop unit is you're dropping behind enemy lines and forcing them to kind of react to you. I could do the same thing with effectively with Marine landings. Germany, quite diverse, obviously. Not would not unless I'm focusing on Operation Sea Line, CELO. Uh, I will build and research paratroops because I use a lot of paratroops as Germany. Anti-tank we're kind of holding off on. It's not important tech right now. When I have excess leadership, then I'll go ahead and handle that. We have no anticipation of fighting in deserts. Well, I mean, we're currently fighting in deserts in Xinjiang here. It's all desert territory up here, but we don't need that desert warfare equipment or Arctic warfare equipment. I do as Germany though, because you do fight in those type of environments as Germany. Artillery, everything should be 1940 tech here. That is stuff that I could use. The heavier, like heavy A guns, heavy and medium artillery, I don't really use. Infantry, looks like we got all our tech that we need in infantry. Yep. Secrets, we're not going for secrets whatsoever. Installation security, we'll go ahead and research that. That'll give us barbed wire first, I think. Electronic, um, let's see here. Aviation navigational radar, yes. Surface detection, we definitely want that. Industry, I think we're doing okay here. I mean, obviously, we don't need increased energy or oil. We're maxed out in both of those. And we're only going to get more oil as we progress with our Southeast Asia. So good. I see totally red, but we drop off a tech and immediately see green. Like I said, there's probably about 50 tech that's going to be completed between now and this time in January. Probably a third of that is November tech. So we're going to go back into the green here. I want to say, in early December. So we'll probably be revisiting this again next episode because I'm actually at the end of this episode here. I was hoping to get through the rest of 1940, and I apologize. I spent quite a bit of time talking there and explaining my thought process and strategy and stuff like that. So leaving off here, and actually real quick, let's take a look and see what we may be having happen up here. Well, actually, everything looks good in regards to where Germany's at. They're at the quiet point, if you will, right now. Pretty soon here, they may push into Yugoslavia. I know Italy declared on Greece. Yeah, Germany did it. Germany's at war with them as well, too. How about Yugoslavia? No. Uh, Italy declared war on Greece, and you see how well that's gone so far. So Germany's got to step in pretty soon and help out like they did historically. Italy's actually doing pretty well in Egypt here. It looks like that they're going to be being forced back by Britain, but actually they're pushing. I would expect that Italy's going to push so far. I don't know where they're going to end up. I doubt they'll reach the Nile before England will kind of push them and turn back and probably get pushed back to Benghazi. I see it every single campaign. It's a, kind of a back and forth. Initially, Italy doesn't do well. Britain comes storming in. Germany helps out with the Africa Corps, and Italy pushes them back, and it's just kind of a back and forth affair. Abyssinia is actually looking really, really good here. Italy hasn't actually moved in here. This is going to be a low province, a low infrastructure province there. That's the only reason why that's turned green for them. But all of this territory is Italy's now. So, and I've pushed as far north as they can. I think this is the only province they can go up to, and everything else beyond here and north of the Nile here is all low infrastructure territory. They kind of need to do something here in this area because you can see England's already pushed down a little bit there. Belgium, though, is about to help out. I can see they got units getting ready to kind of move in and force the Italians out. So we'll see how well Italy is able to maintain it. Otherwise, I think we're done with this episode here. And next episode, we'll definitely get into 1941, get a little bit further into our tech research. Xinjiang should be pretty much wrapped up, with the exception of the capital. I'll just simply just hold might do some spoiling attacks and just fade back from time, as need be. But otherwise, you guys have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching. Any comments, questions, please leave them below, and I'll see you next episode. Take care.